To BackChat. I'm your host, Tema Madima. We're gonna give it a try again. A bit of network connection problems. Hopefully, it's sorted out now, and then we can get going with Elroy Gelant. He is one of SA's most decorated distance runners. You know, middle distance and distance runners. So thanks for coming back, guys. We're going live with Elroy again. We're gonna get well. It is a Monday. We need to start the week off strong. And we brought in one of our strongest distance runners, Elroy Gelant. So he's going to be in the building. Let's try connect one more time, see if this will be better this time. Elroy.
Yes, Temba.
I think it's going to be better now.
Yeah, there's still a bit of delay, but I think it's going to be better, yeah.
Yeah, I can see I'm also, on your side, you look frozen on my side. But hopefully, as long as you can hear me though.
Yeah, no, I can hear you clearly, yeah.
Okay, let's just pick it up from there. So hopefully, it'll behave now. Hey, this Wi-Fi thing in Africa, man, it's not easy,
It's not easy, man, but it's much better than some other Africa countries.
Yeah, no comment. So we can't even complain, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And even some Europe countries, man, you would think Europe is these high flyers with Wi-Fi, but you
Yeah,
also sometimes struggle, especially these countries, Poland.
yeah.
So yeah.
So we're fine.
Yeah.
South Africans, don't worry, we're doing okay. All right, so my brother, let's pick it up where we were. We were talking about. I think what you said there was so important. About the whole development and how important it is. For young athletes not to rush too quickly into trying to do road running or especially road running. That they must take the process of running. The sprints, not the sprints, but the shorter distances, cross country, and then eventually move up to the longer distances.
Yeah, no, man. Like I said, I can just look at my own career, where I'm coming from. Like I said, I started at the age of 9, and I can still remember I think what is it called, the South African primary school nationals,
Yeah,
USAS or something, or
yeah, yeah.
USAS, yeah.
Asa
And
one.
there is actually where I won my first bronze medal. And for a lady from the SWD, it was really a big achievement for me to get a bronze medal against these youngsters of Gauteng. You know how these young
Yeah.
kids run nowadays
Hey.
under 9. And I,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think also, yeah, that laid the foundation for me to actually believe in myself that I actually have a big talent here. And,
Yeah.
and, and, and I mean, I just carried on from under 9, where I'm still doing cross country. But I mean, it's really important if you can focus on these principles of
Yeah.
running as long as you can before you actually make that big move to your road running events.
Absolutely. I mean, I firmly believe in that. I think that's very good advice. The youngsters, I hope they're listening. Let's do a few welcomes while we edit. I see Tyler Kavan is with us. Kicks the high jumper is in here. Travis Kukamur. He's in America, yeah? We've got Brian Coltman, Alexander Wallace. MNK 2009 says bonjour, 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 monsieur. We've got Unkabetse Nkobolo all the way from Botswana. Welcome to you, brother Keanu Domingo. We've got Lamiz, Kamish, Kipi, Brian Coldman, Emil Peterson, Aiden Throws, Venom. Welcome, guys. I'm not going to get to everybody. Tian Stevens, Brayton Poo, Cynthia Tetewa. Welcome to you, Bram Fessa. It's like there's a whole buffet of different people in here, Alroy.
Yeah, we've got some high jumpers here. Emil Peterson, he's a retired 800-meter athlete. Travis was recently training with me.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we've got a few guys here, a whole South
yeah.
African squad.
We also got a bonjour, so I don't know if that's a little bit of some French je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, Geneseo, it can be from Reunion Island because we went to Reunion Island the past few years. We went to go do some relays there, and I know it's a French island, so we can probably
Yeah.
be some of the French guys. Yeah.
Welcome, 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 guys. Thanks for joining in. All right, brother. Let's carry on with the questions. I've got so many questions here. The Mill says you're a legend, man. You're a legend. I want to get to that, but let's first build this thing. So obviously, cross country and track is where you started. What would you say is your favorite event? Like, I mean, take everything away where you are now. Let's take that away. What would you say is Elroy Geland's favorite event since you started running?
Yeah, I would definitely say the 5,000 meters.
Yeah,
It's not an easy event, you know, but
yeah,
I actually do like it. I think it suits me perfectly with a little
yeah,
bit of speed, a little bit of endurance that actually needed for 5,000 meter.
yeah,
So I would definitely say the 5,000 meters, and always cross country is always nice, you know, to run
yeah.
around the bend here through some mud, you know. So I really enjoy that. So I would say 5,000 in cross country, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Oh, I see Roscoe Engel Speed is in the building as well. Welcome to him. Ruben Gous, Ayanda Faku. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining in. Yo, some of these names, I don't know if they're international or what's going on. It's, I don't even want to try. I'm going to leave them. But I mean, I think, I'm usually, when I remember when I moved from sprints into like the middle distance world and distance, I'd always, like, I think I can probably imitate all of you guys running actions. I know exactly how Mokoka runs. I know how Elroy
Yeah,
Gelant runs. I know how
yeah,
Zazi, because, like, when I was trying to learn, I was like, I always looked at who are the best. I mean, you probably the most efficient, smooth, like watching you run is like, watching a gazelle, a little baby gazelle
no, thank you,
skip
man.
around in the bush. Because I mean, that's why, like, 5,000, like you said, it's definitely one of those events where you made it look so easy, but hey, it's not easy. You guys worked, you work your butts off, and I mean, it shows in the results you achieve.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. But like I said, I think it comes with years, you know, trying to almost get to that near perfection type of running style.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's always so important just to focus on your own natural style, on what you were
yeah,
actually born with, and not to imitate someone else.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I think sometimes but if you work hard enough, you know, on your core stability and all of these things, then it will come natural. That natural flow of looking actually strong and smooth will
yeah,
actually come, yeah. But yeah, I just think it's, yeah, like you said, yeah, like the 5,000 meters. If I think back at 2016 where I qualified in
yeah,
Cape Town, I think Reggie was still commentating from Backtrack
yeah,
back then, yeah. And I
yeah.
mean, it's just you just sometimes go in a crazy mindset. I remember I think I went 7:52 that first 3K, and
Yeah,
it's just sometimes if you think of it, it's sometimes crazy just to think of the crazy things you can actually do, you know. Um, but yeah, definitely, man. It's really a nice event for me, and I'm actually thinking of going back to it next year.
Okay.
Um, yeah, even when I was preparing for that essay record, you know, I felt like there's still a little bit
More.
to achieve in that more, yeah, a little bit more in the
Yeah.
5,000. So I mean, my soul still feels young. We're getting a little bit older, but my soul still feels young, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
still mixing it up with the guys here in Potts with the speed. So definitely I'm still there. Yeah.
Yeah, still in the mix. I mean, you still got time. I see Roscoe says run like Ufenzema, go on the final 100 of the 400-meter. Hey, Roscoe, Roscoe, wherever Roscoe is, there's always problems. Roscoe's always crapping,
Yeah, yeah. There's always some spice in the chips, you know. There's always some spice.
All right, all right. So, like, I mean, I just to like give people like an idea of like your range. I mean, you've run the 800-meter in 147.74. You've run 1,500 in 337.97. You've got a 3,000-meter of 341. But the crazy thing is like your indoor, your indoor time is like it's that's like if I look at all your performances, your indoor 3,000-meter is like it's like 1,200 points. It's like out of this world. That's on the
Yeah.
on your tables. That's by far like your best achievement. Let's call it on tables. Then you
Mm-hmm.
got the 5,000-meter essay record, 13 minutes 04.88, a national record, as well as 10,027.41. Half marathon is 1 hour 01:01, and then the marathon, obviously last year you ran a 2:10. 21. I mean, how many marathons have you run? That was like your first or second marathon, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah. Yeah, the 210 was the second one, yeah, and London was
Yeah.
now supposed to be my third one, yeah.
Ah,
So
man.
yeah,
So
I think yeah, still a long road to go. I think it's another 6, 7 years, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, like taking it easy, you know, taking it easy.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you've got so much time. You've only done 2 marathons. Can you believe it? So it's only the beginning of a new chapter. You know, I think, I mean, it takes a long while to adjust to those distance. I mean, we've seen it with Mo Farah as well. I mean, it doesn't come easy for him to adjust to the marathons and so on. So it's gonna be one of those things. So obviously now I know 5,000 is definitely your favorite event. Who was your role model? Did you have a role model coming through the ranks, or was there a few people that you
Yeah,
looked up to?
yeah, no, definitely. I had a few role models, especially in school. You know, you follow a few people, and Ezekiel Sepeng was one of my role models.
Legend.
Um, although he was 800-meter runner, but I mean, he actually attracted me to come to Potts back then from
Yeah.
high school.
Okay.
Because I had an option. I had an option of, because I was staying in George, grew up in George. So I had an option of going to Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
So I thought I had my options on the table. I thought Stellenbosch. Who's there in Stellenbosch actually?
Who's there in
You know,
Stellenbosch?
I'm sorry now to speak about Ilana Meyer and all these people are all there, but they retired. You know, but I mean, um, he was one of my role models. When I see in the newspapers or the magazine, there's Ezekiel Sepeng, I will cut his face out. You know,
Yeah.
so that was one of the things actually that attracted me to actually come to Potts. And when I got the in Potts, here was Ezekiel Sepeng.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I met him, man, it was just an unbelievable experience to run against
Yeah.
this great, you know. So yeah. And I mean, even I didn't even add spikes when I came to Potts. And so I asked Ezekiel once if he can maybe give me some spikes.
Yeah.
He said no, he's not going to give me spikes. He said you need to run for your spikes.
Mm.
So I'm like,
Sure.
what do you mean I need to run for my spikes? He said you need to work for these spikes. I will give you
Yeah.
spikes, but you need to work for them. And he said,
Mm.
we had a league meeting. He said, if you can break 151, I'll give you this pair of Adidas spikes.
Mm.
And that night we had a league meeting here in Potchefstroom. Yes, man, I went full out. And Ezekiel he was running and they're all in front, you know. I think he ran 146 here in Potts. And I came there behind with my 150. And after the race, he gave me my spikes, you know. And the
Yeah.
lesson out of that, I think, is not to just want things, you know, in life. You
Yeah.
need to work for things, you know.
Like
So
that,
so
man.
yeah, that was a really important message for me. And even with my
Mm.
first sponsorship, I said, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask people for a vest, Adidas vest, a Nike vest, or all of these things, you know. I'm gonna work for my own sponsorship. And I
Yeah.
mean, and that is through the message or through what Ezekiel taught me back then, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's powerful. And I remember we had a chat with him on BackChat as well. You said the same thing, I think, with Mburayeni as well. You know, they always have this thing of, I want to earn my own. I know Stephen Mukoka does the same thing as well. He's like, hey, if I give you, you're going to think it's easy, you know? I
Yeah,
mean, let's
yeah.
let's be honest, Elroy. I mean, you guys work hard. And I've seen how you guys work, how much, especially distance running. Sprinting, I see. Sprinting, I see.
uh,
But distance running, yo.
yeah. No, it's
It
not
takes your
easy,
whole
man.
life.
Yeah, I know it takes your whole life, man. I mean, say, what was it, 2, 3 years back when we had Philip Potts?
Yeah.
I went to Kenya, man, and I trained in Kenya. I trained in
Eish,
Kenya.
eish.
I came back 5,000 meters SA national champs, man. Yo, that last 1 kilometer,
I
I
remember.
couldn't.
Eish,
Yeah, I saw the motorbike is here next to me, but I could see now I'm not following this motorbike. I'm
eish,
not here. It's like any
eish.
moment I can snap now. I can just fall,
And you
and
went out
and I
so
mean,
hard. Eh?
and I went out so hard, man, and that is just through the hard work. And sometimes you ask yourself, why is this
Mm,
happening? I've trained so hard, you know.
eish.
But yeah, I think you just need to remind yourself this is part of sport. You know, you have your ups, and other days you break essay records, and other times you will have these moments like I've experienced with essays. You know,
Eish.
but still, man, it's still a great thing to be part of, to still love what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly that. Like I was thinking, just today, I was like, as I was thinking, I'm like, like there's a big difference between hunger and timing. You know what I mean? you know, when you're hungry, you want things to just come to you because, you know, I deserve it. I've worked hard. But
Yeah.
timing is so much more powerful because timing is like just letting things go, and before you know it, national records fall, and you it was not never part of the plan, and
Yeah.
you know your performances. I mean, I think that's one of those challenges, but I mean, you learn, man, and I mean, you've
Yeah.
taken that graciously, and you've moved forward and continue to become a better athlete. You know.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I mean, these setbacks are always a motivator for you to motivate you for greater things. I mean, look at Chip the guy also a few years back there in his home country where we actually had the world cross country champs. Where the last
Yeah.
200 meters he was just
Hey.
disorientated, totally
Hey.
disorientated, and I
Yeah.
mean that didn't kept him from going to be the world's best now. So yeah, sometimes I know it's easy to give up, man, when you're going through a dip. But I think it's so important to take the positive out of that dip, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Let's do a few more welcomes. I see Lebu Musito is in here all the way from the United States of America. Hey, Tamsin Thomas. I don't think I welcomed her the second time around. Shanley Kukamur, Lauren C. Davids, Anthony Timmy, Timotheus 5000 has joined in. Henu Havenga, Kicks Cook. Oh, Duran Faro. The Faro
Uh,
machine is in here as well. I see Bram Fissa also says Elroy style is so beautiful. Yeah, so yeah, welcome guys. Thanks for joining. Oh, Henku is in here. Henku Ace, Bradley, Coach Bradley Agnew is here as well. Welcome, Franz Joseph. Who else? Nicola Gibbon, Luan Minnick, Alvin Athlete. Yo, I think I have to stop. But I mean, welcome guys. Thanks for joining in. It's always good, you know. I think it's important, Elroy, that we continue to just have these type of conversations, you know, because, you know, I personally believe there's a lot of information and there's a lot of things we can learn from each other, especially like, you know, athletes like yourself who have been through the ranks, you know, from junior to senior to, you know, whatever level, you know, you know what it's like being a student top athlete, what it's like being a working athlete as well, you know. So those are the things that we want to pass it on so that the youngsters can be better, you know.
yeah, no, definitely it's important, man. And I mean, nowadays, if you don't find yourself in a good structure, like in Tux or at Pikke,
Mm.
Stellenbosch, then you actually
Stellenbosch,
totally
yeah.
lost. Then you totally lost, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, every part that we, as say old athletes or experienced athletes, can play just to assist our younger upcoming athletes, that will surely help, you know. So
Mm.
definitely we've got a bigger part to play in our athletics and development of our athletics.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Let's get into some important things here, man. Let's talk records. Ish, you know records, man. You know, I don't think there's an athlete who does not dream of smashing or you know breaking a record. You know, when you think about it as a youngster in your room, I don't know, maybe I don't know how you did it, but like you know, you find people write things on the walls. You know, you talk into the mirror, all that type of things. Tell us about. Let's first talk about. Let's talk about breaking the 3,000 meter record, and then we'll talk about the 5,000 because I mean the 3,000 was special. Like I said, 3,000 meter to this date is one of your biggest performances. I don't think people even realize how big that achievement was. You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, 7:39 is not
Hey,
easy on an indoor
indoor.
track, you know.
Ah.
And yeah, and I ran it in Belgium, and you know, it's we indoors is in the winter months.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely it's not easy. There is some challenges with your indoors, running indoors and all these things. But I mean, yeah, that's a great achievement. But yeah, for me it's easy, man. I just set myself on a goal to say this is the record to break. This is the times that I want to run, and then
Yeah.
I just go fully out for it, you know. Everything that I put my mind to it, you know, if I put my mind to it on the track, I would say 7:39. I need the last 52 seconds on the last 400 meter. Then I will try and push my body to that 52 seconds, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, mentally, you need to put yourself in that position to say, this is what I want to achieve, and actually throw everything into it. But definitely, I actually loved running indoors. It was quite nice and special, you know. It's
Mm.
something that we're not used to, so it's a different challenge for us as South African runners.
Yeah,
But definitely, I really enjoyed running overseas during the winter months. It's kind of nice because you don't experience snow in South Africa.
yeah.
So to go out and jacket with your big full jacket, with your jacket, you know, your nose is raw, your cheeks are red. You know, that's quite a nice feeling, and I really enjoyed that winter feeling in Europe.
Wearing a Boomba jacket there, but I mean,
Bomber jacket, yeah.
but I mean, it's part of the experience. I mean, and then, so you come over the you run the race. Obviously, it's intense. It's World Indoor Championships. You know, the best of the best are there. What's going on in your mind? You know, obviously, you just set goals of the 7:39 or to break the record, but what's going on in your mind? And when you come over the line and you hear that you've run that time, what type? How do you feel about it? You know?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. It's a whole bunch of emotions that's actually going through you. It's a bit of more excitement, happy feeling that you actually have. But I mean, even in the race, you just so focused on what you need to do. So you just focus for us distance athletes. So important just to focus on the splits. You know,
Yeah,
just when you can see, no, yes, I'm now in the splits of SA record. It just motivates you more to go even faster.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah, you so focused within the race. There's not a lot that actually goes on. You know, you can't think of a burger or something. Hey, what I'm gonna do now after the race. So yeah, and I think it's just that focused mindset that you're in, and that's really nice because now when you cross the line and it's SA record, it's a total different feeling that you get now out of it. You know, even
yeah,
with SA record when I ran it in Hengelo with the 5,000 meter record,
yeah,
I was running with the guys, not knowing what the splits were, and I was just going because I was still running with my tom tom on, and my tom tom I put it on splits, 100-meter splits to go off
yeah.
every 15 seconds. It needs to go off.
Yo,
But as I went on in the race, I could see, but now my split is not making sense because now it's going after the 100-meter line. It's going off. So now my
yeah,
thinking is, no, I'm running too slow today. It's too slow today. When I crossed that line, I think Melissa Conley, she screamed, she said SA record. I'm like, no, it can't be. So I'm like, SA record, it's 13:11. I thought maybe I ran 13:09,
yeah,
13:09. And when the names popped up, chop, 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 it popped up. 13:04. I couldn't
yo,
believe it, man. And I was
yeah,
so happy. I was so happy with it, you know. But I mean, it's something that you worked for, so you're almost
yeah,
like expecting it.
yeah,
But I mean, there's nothing that actually can replace it, you know, when you actually
yeah.
get your fruits of all your hard work.
So celebration wise, did you do a celebration? Yeah, and Elroy Gelant doing. What did you do? Was it just the classic wave?
Yeah, man. You know, I'm a shy guy, man. So you will just walk, look down, man. You will actually just smile to yourself. But yeah, it's not like it's not like soccer players where you have your thing of doing your celebrations and stuff. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. But I mean, I know you, man. You're a calm guy, always level-headed, and I mean, I think you know, like when I think of distance runners, especially South Africa, like you and Mukoka will always be like the two like ultimate, you know, role models for all these up and coming youngsters because both of you are very level-headed. You know, like telling with Mukoka the splits. I mean, he's like a walking time machine. That guy is. He's got
Mm,
splits in his legs. Like he knows, even if whether he's got his watch or not, you know, he knows the
yeah.
pace. And I mean, with you, I can see you also very precise. You want things to be in a certain way. You create your atmosphere, training, and people must either join in or they must step out. You know, when you're in the office, it's in the office.
Yeah, no, definitely. But you know, with my training group, I've got a very diverse training group. So these guys are very
Yeah.
strong personalities.
Hey, this Poch, the
So
Poch guys, eh?
yeah, they will tell you straight, yay, we go 62, we go 63, you know. But yeah, definitely you still have your own discipline, you need to run 64 per lap, and that's important. You can't go faster than that. So definitely, yeah, it's so important to actually have that structure in place and to apply it to
Mm,
your training. Yeah, and
absolutely.
I mean, we can learn from Steven as well. Look at Steven's achievements over the past years, and that can because of the discipline and the structure that he applies to his training.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, man, you guys, you've set the bar. I mean, that 5,000-meter record, you know, hey, it's fast. I mean, to move it to 13, like you said, 13:04. I don't know that indoor 3,000. I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere anytime soon. But hey, somebody will have to step up, you know, and fill the shoes eventually. So yeah, but that's
Yeah,
exciting always.
yeah, no, it's exciting, but we've got a few youngsters that's coming up. George Koos, that side in the US, you know,
Yeah,
and he also ran a few good races last year. But I mean,
yeah,
even in my own group, we've got a few guys, Luan and Dilly, still Jerry Matau, he's still up in the game, you know, still focusing on the
yeah,
15. Eventually, we'll probably go up to the 3K, 5K. So we still
yeah.
got a few guys to actually break that records, and I mean, records are there to be broken.
Absolutely.
So I don't mind, man. That's just improving our athletics in the country if someone comes in and run faster than you.
Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what it's all about. I see. Is this Chris Cherise Anthea? She's got a comment. She says, "Inspirational guy. I always tell my son what an awesome guy Elroy is. He's definitely a role model for my swimmer son. You know, you're even influencing swimmers. You know what I mean? Because of your discipline. You know, and your
Yeah,
focus,
ah,
and
man.
you know your je ne sais quoi. Uh, uh, uh.
Yeah, no, I think that's quite important, man. You need to be a balanced athlete, a balanced person, you know.
Yeah.
Um, the more diversity you can bring to the table, the better, you know, it can be,
Mm,
and the more you can inspire through that. So I always believe to be a balanced type of a guy, a balanced
yeah.
athlete, you know, not to solely focus on the running because there's always life after sports. Um,
Absolutely.
so definitely, yeah.
I want to talk. Remember, I want to talk about this. Remember, we went to Sabi. I don't know when was it. 2016.
Yeah,
Uh,
2016.
2016. We went to Sabi Beyond Pro. We were shooting for Tom Tom. Obviously, you were an ambassador for them then. Uh, yeah, I learned something about you that I never thought. You know, like people think Elro is shy and he's afraid and whatever. You know, but I mean, yo, when I saw you in, you know, the way you were going into caves, jumping off cliffs, I was like, ah, yeah, 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 yeah. How is this guy more fearless than I am? You know, like I usually don't back out, but you just. So have you always been like an adventurous guy? You know, outdoorsy. I don't think you're outdoorsy. I don't. That's why I was so confused. Like, but you are adventurous, ne?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you know, when you grow up, man, you'll always play in the bushes and always play in the rivers and go to the dam and all these things. So I think it was just growing up with all of these things that I actually did when I was still young. But you know, there was a few things that we did in Sabi where we had to jump off the cliff, you know, and I just took it to sometimes you just need to throw your whole body into it. I will even with my running as well. When I step onto that track and when I start, I will just throw my whole
Go.
body into it. And I think that was
Yeah.
probably the same principle that I probably had. You know, it's the dog inside of you that probably comes out. So that was just the dog in me. Everyone has that dog in him, you know. So I think that was the dog inside me.
Question is, who let the dog out?
Yeah, no, that's an internal thing, you know. You need to let that dog out. No one else can tell you. You there in Shabi, just the bushes and the trees and yourself. So there's no mommy, there's no daddy to say, hey, Elroy, you need to jump now. So I think that's also important, you know, to also tap on that internal spot of yours.
Yeah.
Um, to tap on that sometimes because most of the times coach is not going to be there, your daddy is not
Yeah.
going to be there, you know, especially when you you also experience when you go to Europe you need to travel sometimes alone, you know,
Yeah.
and even if you go to races in Germany, all of these things you need to need to go alone and run
Yeah.
alone, you know, and so important just to have that internal motivator inside of you just to tap on it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna ask. I think we're gonna wrap it up with two more questions. Yeah, I think let's just touch quickly on this one, and then I wanna wrap it up. So obviously, at the moment you're working as well, né? And the balance. Obviously, it's not easy. I mean, I don't think you know. Sometimes uh, people don't realize. So tell us. I mean, why does Elroy Gelant have to work as well as run. People don't understand this thing because they think, Elroy Gelant, I mean, you're a world-class athlete. You are a world-class. There's no two ways. There's no doubt about your talent and your ability. You're an Olympic finalist, record holder, etc. So why working as well as running?
Yeah, like I just said, man, I just think it's so important to have a balanced life,
Yeah,
and that is just one of my goals, to also look after myself when I'm done running, to have
yeah, yeah,
actually to have something after running that can actually support me.
yeah,
Because I mean, we run up to the age of 40, and then life only starts after that.
yeah.
So I
It's true.
think that's the important thing for me, just to have a backing and support. Um, for me when I'm done, and also for my family when I'm done running, just to have that backing. If you can look at a few examples within our country that were very successful in sports, and after sports is actually not going that well,
Yeah.
just because of solely focused just on your running, and not having a backing of education or work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it's just sometimes just to think a little bit further than
Mm,
to just to think just here now. I know sometimes it will influence your running. You're a professional athlete. You can
mm.
probably be much better by getting more recovery in and all these things. But yeah, man, like I said, there's a whole few years that lies ahead of you after you're running.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I think it's wise advice, man. I mean, end of the day, like I say, like whatever decision you make, in life, it's just a matter of, as long as you're fully committed, and you're committed to making it work, that's on you. I mean, nobody else will, when you step on the line at London or wherever it is where you're going to be stepping on in the future. Tokyo is around the corner. uh when you step on the line, people don't know what you do for a living. Nobody cares. Everybody just wants to see you run as fast as possible. And I mean, it's such a different discipline. I don't think, not many people will understand like how much commitment it takes for you to be able to even balance the two. But I mean, you're the type of guy, man, that can definitely do it, because I mean, like I said, you're disciplined, you're focused. Hey, Pimple bit me here. Look at this.
It's a Limpopo mosquito.
And I mean, you know how to balance all these things. Second last question. What is your motivation? What motivates Elroy Gelant to want to be a better athlete?
Yeah, like I said, what motivated me all along, all these years, is just my God-given talent.
Mm,
I believe that God gave me a talent, and
yeah,
I always told myself, I don't want to give 20% in what God blessed me with.
yeah,
I want
yeah,
to give 110% what God blessed me with.
yeah,
And yeah, so that is what actually motivates me. There is external things that can come your way, but I mean
yeah, yeah,
solely there's setbacks that you have sometimes, and then these external things don't count as a motivator anymore. But
yeah. That's
just to
true.
think, but just to think of that God-given talent that God
Mm.
provided me, that always keep me um, from going on, or to go on with what I love. So I think that's my biggest motivator. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I think that's such a powerful motivation, because it's got conviction. Like you need to be motivated, by something that has conviction, because with a God-given talent, you can't hide. You can't sleep in your room and say you're gonna get faster. Who you hiding from? Who you lying to?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
So the motivation there is so much more like personal, and like you said, other external factors, they can come and go, but this one is stable. Amen,
Yeah,
brother. uh
definitely.
Finally, a message to everybody. I mean, there's a lot of people that came in today. I'm sure there'll be over 120 or 170 people in and out who popped in and out to hear you speak. What do you have? What message do you have for them? And also the youngsters, up and coming athletes.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a few things that you can say by it, but if I look back in my own running career, why am I still running? It's just to enjoy what you're
Yeah,
doing. So
yeah,
that's the most important thing. Um, there was a race that I ran in France a few years back, where I think my PB was a 750 something on the 30,000 meters,
Yeah.
and I ran that day a 741. So I ran about 10 seconds faster on my PB that
Yeah.
day in France. But as I stood on that start line, I just looked up to the sky and I started to smile. And
Yeah.
then I just realized I actually love what I'm doing.
Come
And
on.
with that thought of happiness, I
Yeah.
actually went on to and I won that race. Yes, I remember
Yeah.
I ran those Kenyans, Ethiopians into the ground.
Come on.
As I went on, I was just smiling and smiling and smiling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say the message from my side is just to enjoy what you're doing. There can be other things to believe in yourself, set goals and all of these things, but I think the most important thing for me is just enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it straight from the man himself, Elroy Gelant. He throws his whole body into things, like he said. Remember those things. Fully commit and always enjoy it. But my brother, from Backtrack side, just want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. And you're not very easy to get hold of, but I got hold of you. I used my strings and my abilities, and we got you on here because it was so important to have you on here because like I said, what you've achieved and what you're still gonna achieve, people need to hear and be able to learn from you. We'll probably have to do this again because you've got so much more to give. But thanks a lot. Thanks for always being open. Thanks for always. Yeah. We've always looked to Elroy, and we can always ask anything from you. And continue being a good example. Keep shining. 2021, we'll be looking out for some big things. So yeah, brother, thanks a lot.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, Temba. Thanks to Backtrack as well. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Thanks to everybody
Thanks,
for
boss.
watching this evening. We were chatting with the champ, Elroy Gelant. I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure to keep tuning in to BackChat. We're going to continue having this conversation with SA's best athletes. Why? Because it's important for South Africa. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving like the water. Elroy, thanks, brother. Take care. Have a
Cheers,
good
bro.
one.
Bye bye.
Away. Good night, guys.